Thanks to the support as a channel member, Captain Fighting Peacock. Well, I've managed to bring Agostini back to Italy, so that's a positive. We also signed a big goalkeeper. That's a positive. We've not been able to sign any attacking players, and I have absolutely no idea how good this team is. And now we've got to play Napoli and Newcastle. They're all kind of negatives. It's been a mixed start here at Juventus. Hello and welcome to Club 5, Part 3 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have an away game against Napoli and our first Europa League game of the season at home against Newcastle. Since you last week, we've only played one match. We scored 6 goals in it, which was really good. We conceded 3, which was less so. And Diogo Costa was disastrous again. Similar to how he was in the first half in the previous episode. At this point, I was done with him. I don't care how good he supposedly is in Football Manager. I have not seen any evidence of it so far. So we've replaced him. Vlahovic did get a hat-trick, though, which eased my fears that we were potentially going to be struggling up front. A hat-trick and a 10 out of 10 performance. That'll do. And as you can see, Carmine Agostini is in. He is now a Juventus player and slots straight into the team. We got him straight in there at the base of the midfield, and he had a very good game as well, as 6.9. That's a very good game when it's a new signing. So Serie A, still too early to care about, but we have brought in some players. Obviously, Agostini, we've already mentioned, was in a £79 million deal from Barcelona to join Boatini, who'd already arrived. And then to complete a Barcelona hat-trick, on deadline day, we took over the loan of Gratakos, the young central midfielder, the wonder kid central midfielder we had at Barcelona last year, who'd gone out on loan to Rennes. Started the season really well with them, and we were just able to take over his loan. We just had to take over the terms that were already in place. So a £49 million optional future fee seems high, bearing in mind that. But if he ends up as good as, he should end up, we may well be bringing him in permanently in the summer. But it's good to have another midfield option in the shape of Gratakos. This is the goalkeeper we've got. Marcos Seco is a Spanish international goalkeeper, 24 years old, 8 caps for Spain already. He's 6'4". He is a lovely big boy. 3.5 stars of current ability, 4-star potential. So he's not even maxed out yet, and he's already better than Costa. He'd been the backup goalkeeper at Atletico, having come through their youth team, went to Benfica, where he's played the second half of last season, pretty much. Started this season as their first choice keeper, and we've just swooped in and taken him before his value gets any higher, and he can now be our starting goalkeeper. And then also on deadline day, just because he was cheap, and we've got Josip Sutalo, who's coming from Arsenal, just because I still felt like we needed another centre-back. He is 32, so he's as old, or he's old like the other centre-backs we had. He's only a short-term solution, but it's only a loan for a year. We do have a future fee upon winning Serie A, which I'm still not entirely sure how these work. We've got one of these for the guy on loan from Manchester City as well, Mansoray. I don't think that means we sign them permanently. We're experimenting. They're not clear, the wording of them. I think they're just bonuses that we pay if we win Serie A. If we end up signing both of these permanently if we win Serie A, then they don't work the way I think they work. But I think they're just bonuses that we pay. And if we win Serie A with those two at the back, I don't mind paying £20 million to do it. I think it's unlikely we win Serie A this season, so I'm prepared to take a little bit of a gamble. So we ended up spending £142 million, but crucially, we haven't added to the transfer debt. We did it all out of money we had in the club, or money we should have in the club. We have gone a little bit overdrawn, and in fact, we're now over the wage budget as well. So let's just sort that out. As you can see, there is still money left in the budgets as well, based on the players that we sold and the huge budget we had to begin with. So I'm pretty happy with how things stand there. And this is the team for the game against Napoli. So we've got a debut for Seco in goal, a back four of Mansoray, Sotalo, Ainal and Agostini. Very new look back four for us there. Agostini's long-term future is definitely at the base of the midfield, but Locatelli still needs to play as well, because he's still one of our most experienced players. No reason not to play him. So Locatelli at the base of the midfield. Boatini's going to be the box-to-box midfielder in central midfield, which is what we've brought him into. He's now made his Italy debut, and Sabalazai as the attacking central midfielder. Fabrice on the left, Chiesa on the right, and Vlahovic up front. With these transfers, we now have got far more players in the Dream 11 than we had before. Secco, Sotalo, Agostini, as the new boys have all made it in. Sabalazai has made it in as well. So we now have 5 of the 11 players in the Dream 11 from 1 when I arrived. And Agostini is one of the top players in the league and still only 22 years old. I've clicked on the wrong button there. He is just a superstar. Very happy to have him at the new club. So let's get the team submitted. Let's head to Napoli and let's see how we get on. Napoli are one of the better teams in the league. They've started the season with a couple of wins as well. So they are looking, I think they've won a couple of games anyway. They were looking pretty good in the league table. Yeah, they've got 2 wins, or 2 wins from 2 so far. We'll be looking to make it 3 from 3 against us. Of course, we lost to Milan, but then absolutely spanked whoever it was we spanked in the last match. But we've leaked goals. We've looked poor defensively in every match we've played so far. So I'm hoping that the introduction of Secco and the new defenders should, like, I don't know, plug some of the gaps at the back. When you count the goalkeeper as well, 4 of this back 5 are players who've arrived since I arrived at the club just over a month ago. So definitely, if you're a Juventus fan, you're looking at that thinking, well, he's identified where he feels like the problem is, and he's fixing things at the back first, mainly because the board and the fans all want me to be solid defensively. So I think we've fixed goalkeeper and defence now. We've started making progress on midfield with Agostini and Boatini. And then next summer is when we fix the attack, because obviously Chiesa and Vlahovic both getting on a bit are not going to be options for us, although Fabris is young. And it is like a new signing because he hasn't played for the last 2 years. So I think we've made some good progress. Vlahovic winning the header from the long throw, but not able to direct it towards a Juventus player. And it's back with Napoli, who, interestingly, despite the real name fix that I've now applied, fixing their name in the league table and in the main part of the game, they've still got the unlicensed version of their abbreviated name. I don't know if there must be a fix for that. I just don't know what fix to use for that. Let me know down in the comments what we used to fix that. But Fabris on the left-hand side, running into the area, plays it back to Mansouri, the guy on loan from Manchester City. Junior Mansouri has scored his first goal for Juventus. It's his first start for the club as well for us, playing out at left-back, which wasn't really where I intended to play him long-term, but he's pretty good at doing it, so why on earth not? And that is a lovely goal to open the scoring here today as well. The Napoli goalkeeper is probably going to be a little bit unhappy with his contribution to that, but I'm not here to make opposition goalkeepers happy. That's a T-shirt right there. We'll get that one made up. Victor Osimhen still up front for Napoli all these years later. And that's a lovely ball across, but that is a lovely save from Secco, who is making himself look very good on his debut. He's made a couple of very important saves. I thought that pass from Osimhen had ripped us apart, but Secco's in again with a brilliant point-blank save. That's 3 incredible saves we've had from the new goalkeeper today. I am already feeling pretty happy about our goalkeeping situation compared to where we were with Diogo Costa. And I mean, it's the first time since Blanco at Preston, like 5 seasons ago now, I've actually got out and found a new goalkeeper. So all that fear I had with Blanco way back when we brought him in as an 18-year-old, probably more than 5 seasons ago now, and the lecture I gave everybody at the time about how difficult it is to find goalkeepers in FM23 and how he had to get in one young, and that was the justification for getting Simon at Preston as well. Turns out there's actually quite a few quite good goalkeepers, because we've just picked up another one who was relatively easy to get hold of. We've got a lot of tired players here. So we're making a bunch of changes. Gratakos is going to come on and make his debut. Isela is going to sit there at the base of the midfield. But we've had to make 4 changes as we've got a lot of tired legs. But we do have the corner. It's Sabalazai to play it across. There's no Juventus player to get on the end of it. We've got a lot of big boys at the back now. I'm a little bit upset. Upset might be strong. A little bit concerned that we were so poor from that corner, though, when we've got a lot of 6'3+ players knocking around the team. Now, was that another save from Secco? Actually, I think that one has hit the post, but Secco certainly having a very impressive debut so far and keeping Napoli at bay. We're going to be feeling pretty hard done by when they look at the match stats and the XG. Right, so Balazai is going to come off and Gervasio is going to come on in midfield. As he's a big, strong boy, I'm thinking we play him as a box-to-box midfielder just purely on the basis that he's 6'4". Is that a reason to play someone as a boxer? I mean, Gratikos is 6'2". I mean, neither of them are going to be great in that role, but, you know, we've got two very good, young, big, strong central midfield players in there. There's definitely a theme in the majority of our signings so far. We're bringing in the big, meaty boys because it's FM23, and sometimes you just got to get yourself a big room full of big, meaty boys, and that's exactly what we've done. And it's led to us picking up a hugely important 1-0 win away against Napoli. Lovely stuff. Big test coming up now against Newcastle because we know Premier League teams are massively overpowered, and playing against Premier League teams in the Champions League last year with Barcelona ruined our Champions League season. But for now, we're happy with how the league table looks, and let's have a battle of the stripies against Newcastle. Right, on further inspection, I think these are permanent transfers that happen if we win the league, because I went to try and sign Mansour permanently, and there's no way to do it because he's already accepted a contract offer. I don't remember offering him a contract, but it was a chaotic transfer window. Maybe I did. So he only signs permanently, I think. Let me know in the comments if I'm right. But I think if we win Serie A, he signs permanently for £13.5 million, which that is an incredible incentive to go and win Serie A as far as I'm concerned. Unfortunately, we will also have a 33-year-old joining for £9 million at the same time, who also we can't make an offer for because he's already accepted a contract offer. So it'll be fine. Let's go play Newcastle. So we're making a few changes just because we've got an old team and we need to keep things nice and fresh. So Lopez and Porro come back in as fullbacks. Mansour and Sutalo will be our centre-backs. It allows Agostini to go back to the base of the midfield. And we're going to bring Alvarez on the right-hand side to have a proper look at him. I've not given him a fair crack of the whip yet. So he might be better than his 3 stars of current ability suggests. So we're going to give him a go off of that right-hand side. We do need to be careful potentially with how we're using Vlahovic in games like this. Obviously, playing against Newcastle, it's stripies versus stripies, one of football's longest running stripy rivalries. So we do need to play a strong team in this match, but there are going to be games coming up in the Europa League where we probably need to rotate and rest our 30-something superstars, especially ones like Vlahovic, who we don't really have much in the way of backup for, because if he does pick up an injury, it's Alvarez or nothing, and we don't know if Alvarez is any good yet. So that is it's a scary thing with the squad. If something happens to Vlahovic, we have a big problem and no money to fix it until next summer. It'll be fine. Look, Seko did another good save. He's been a good signing at the very least. That's a positive thing. Porro playing it forward to Alvarez. Maybe he's going to look like an absolute superstar. Alvarez playing it back into Boatini, and now Agostini, and Alvarez goes past his fullback, and what a goal, what a finish. I think we'll be fine. If Vlahovic is injured, we'll be fine. Alvarez looks like he's all right, actually. And it's good to see Boatini and Agostini combining. They're the 2 former Barcelona boys. Agostini, who took 2 years getting himself established into the midfield there and has walked straight in to that deep line playmaker position for us because there's no De Jong in his way. And Boatini, who never really got a chance at Barcelona because of Gavi and Pedri and various others, La Cruz ahead of him in central midfield, is just already nailed down this box-to-box midfield position in our central midfield as his own, and he's looking very, very solid in that role as well. I am enjoying how our back four and our midfield are lined up. It's just, like I say, that little bit of a worry that we don't have a huge amount of depth in the attacking positions. Oh dear. Well, we've got Diogo Costa, who is one of the best goalkeepers in FM23. Oh, what have I just seen? Do we just bring Costa on at half time? We can't allow that to be a thing, surely. His eccentricities only 2. What on earth, in all that is goalkeeping attributes, has caused that to happen? I think we can only blame that on Football Manager being broken. They fixed the goalkeepers, don't worry. What on earth have I just seen? Let's just pretend it never happened. For everyone's sanity, we need to pretend that never happened, because if that actually happened, everything I was just saying about the improvements of the goalkeeper and all the other stuff all counts for nothing, and we've got an absolute clown between the sticks. Costa looked like he was struggling, but goodness me, he never did anything like that. Right, Sotalo playing it forward to Boatini, and now Agostini and Sotalo, and look at us, knocking the ball around like with Barcelona. It's beautiful. Mansoret, who we need to win Serie A just to get this guy permanently, although I think this could be our starting centre-back partnership anyway, so if that means we sign them both permanently, that's fine by me. Boatini trying to crunch in with a tackle in midfield and gives the ball away again, and now Seco is beating at his near post, and look, he's having a little dance. Shake it off. I'll be fine. Shake it off. Balls to shake it off. Stop doing it. My word. What is happening? So, okay, that's taken a big deflection. I'm less angry with him for that one. If he hadn't have done the first one, I let that one fly, but I'm a little worried. Remember, Premier League teams massively overrated in Football Manager. They are very difficult to come against, but right, Mansoret's not playing well, so Leone can come on for him. Vlahovic, we're going to bring on Chiesa and put Alvarez up front, because Vlahovic hasn't played well at all. And Sabolazai, who I'm very confident I'm saying his name wrong every time I try it. We're going to bring Gervasio on in midfield. And yeah, I was tempted to stick him forward into the attacking midfield position, but Agostini, we've never really trained him to play central midfield, so he can't really push forward alongside Boatini. And I hate a lopsided midfield. It's horrible. It's everything that's wrong with football. Right, let's... Fabrice is going to come off. We don't really have anyone. Oh, Gordon Bennett. This is what I mean about no strength in depth up top. Right, let's stick Chiesa up front, I guess. And Alvarez can go there. And then we can bring on Graticos to play there. This isn't ideal, is it? He can be an inside forward. He can be the inverted winger. And we probably needed to sign a... what are they called again? Attacker. An attacking player. Let's get Anal on, actually. The only can go out there. Right, come on, boys. Have we got an equaliser in us? An equaliser will be fine. We're demanding more. If we can just find a way to drag ourselves back into this game, it's unlikely we're going to score a goal with the front three that we've currently got on the pitch. But we really could use one. Oh, this hasn't gone very well. It hasn't gone very well at all. I should have just... I was so close to doing the walkout when the goal went in, the first one. Should have done. Wouldn't have had to have sat through the rest of this. We've been robbed it. They're doing to us on the XG what we've just done to Napoli. So I guess we can't feel too hard done by, but it really does highlight that we need an attacking player in January. And Alvarez, has he been fouled there, or is that being given for offside? It's Chiesa was offside before it even got across to Alvarez. And that is disappointing, to say the least. We can't have too many more European nights like that, or the Europa League is going to be a disaster. But luckily, we don't play the likes of Newcastle again. We've got Genk, Djurgården, Copenhagen, Marseille, Cervena, Svezia, and then Dynamo, Batumi, and Apoel. So we should win every remaining league game and probably still finish top 8. But just no more Premier League teams, thank you. Right, we're going to jump forward a little bit now. We've played a few matches at the start of the season to give you a feel for how things are starting off here at Juventus. I'm looking at the fixture list thinking Inter, last season's champions, and then Copenhagen as a European game, or maybe even a Roma-Inter doubleheader in the league is probably more interesting than watching us thump a couple of European opponents. Let's do that. Roma and Inter tomorrow, because we've got a weekend bonus episode. We've got a match day vlog midweek. So, yeah, let's do that and hopefully be a bit better than we've just been. Oh, Seco. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.